G'day folks, Tony again here for more Star Control 2. Let's make our way back into hyperspace, dear viewers. What could possibly go wrong? And here we go. That's a good sound, right? An encounter in deep space and some sort of spaceship that I don't recognize. It's going to give us the option to converse or to attack. Let's go with converse because I have no idea what this thing is. We come in peace. Okay. Considering I have no idea what it is, maybe we can go... we reach out our appendage and friendship. What is your response? What do we say? We are from Earth. Probably not a great idea to tell them the name of our home planet, so let's go with this one. Mission description follows. Traverse space recording data. Seek materials for replication. Replicate to expand scope of mission. Contact life forms in peaceful manner. Well, that's promising. After 10 replications, return to point of origin. Sure. End of mission description. Very good. Priority override. New behavior dictated. Uh-oh. Must break target into component compounds. That's not a good sign. All right. So if we're going to have to do battle here, I don't want to lose Swifo. I can always build more of these Earthling cruisers. So shall we go with Halleck or shall we go with Perks? Halleck worked before. Let's give it a try. Oh dear. Okay, so getting a little bit of distance here, which means we should be able to, should be able to use our nukes. The problem here is that the turning circle on these Earthling cruisers is not terribly great. But if we do get a shot in, much like that one, then we're okay. So that was a Slylandro. By the looks of it, we get a little bit of resources for that, 550 resource units, but at the cost of one of our starships. Accidentally making our way back into the Alpha Lyrae system, which is not exactly what I wanted. So let's give this another try. We might go flying over in this direction. I can see another star to go and have a look at, and we still have 29 fuel. The real problem here will come if we end up in another spaceship battle. We are starting to run low. Oops, that was not quite what I wanted. We are starting to run a little bit lower on available ships. Canopus having one planet. Let's hope it's a good one. We'll make our way inwards and find out. I wonder with all of these zooms that are happening here as well, whether it might actually be quicker to fly around the edge of something when we're out on the super zoomed out map. Tons of room left in our cargo. Not even halfway through the first of those 3 containers. Mineral scan, a little bit of stuff. Energy scan looks blank. Biology scan looks blank. It's class 2 and class 1 on weather and tectonics. That seems safe enough to me. So let's do our collection and get out of here. I'm slowly remembering the art of of trying to steer, looking at the large map and keeping the other part in my peripheral vision. It's not working too badly here at the moment. There we go. One full load worth of stuff, so that's great. And let's continue. Just on the halfway point there for that first cargo container, having been to Canopus 1. What else is around? Out in hyperspace, not really sure. We might just do a little bit of a circuit here. Trying not to get too far away from Earth Star, which is there fairly nearby. Maybe this one over here will be okay to go to. I probably should have written down what the coordinates were for the Earth system for Sol. Although surely we can't go too far astray. Beta Wolf sounds good. There's also only one planet here. It'd be nice to run into a system where there are a ton of planets so that we have more chance of gathering more resources before we head on back to Earth. Clearly, to at least buy one more Earthling cruiser, it would be nice to have a little more firepower up our sleeve. All right. Class 3 tectonics. Possibly not worth it, especially considering that I think these things might actually be fairly base level metals. Let's just fly down and find out. I don't know. Although the earthquakey stuff doesn't look too bad here at the moment, so we can probably get away with it. So we'll do one more dispatch. I don't anticipate us coming back. Anticipate us coming back this way. So we may as well just take care of all of it. Of course, the other drama here being that because we are on a planet with tectonics, looking at the large map isn't going to show me the particulars of where things are or where earthquakes are about to spawn relative to the ship. So having to scan backwards and forwards to try and... Whoop, this is probably quicker to go to the side, isn't it? Yes. Having to scan backwards and forwards is part and parcel with the challenge of trying to navigate the little landing craft around on the surface. Okay, I think there's... Oh, that turning circle is dreadful. The turning speed, rather, is dreadful. Make our way into here. That's a few more planets. Let's see if we can find something groovy. The gas giant here on the outside. I'm assuming that we won't be able to grab anything from this. I was hoping that there might be some moons for us, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So I guess this thing's going to have really bad weather, and it does. So just for old time's sake, having a look at all the scans there and not coming up with anything. So the dank will continue on its way. Looks like a gas giant in super close there as well. So we have another 3 planets here to check out. Going to make our way to this green one and hope for the best. Tried and true planet 3. I've had a lot of success in the past with the third planet from the sun, particularly in real life. It's class 5 tectonics. Oh boy, that it's probably not great, but those are some awfully large, what are they, radioactives down there? Let's try a really quick expedition, see how bad this is, because even if we only just manage to pick things up quickly, I'm going to keep my eye on that small map, try and avoid any potential earthquakes. Not doing terribly good at that. Alright, pushing our luck a little bit there. We might just do one more, even though our crew numbers are dropping lower and lower. If we manage to pick up just this one, and then we will definitely do a runner. That will have to do us, I think. Alright. Losing 9 crew there, I believe, so that was a bit hefty. We can, as the Starbase commander said, restock our crew when we're back at the Earth Starbase, but the cost of that continues to escalate as the number of people on the Starbase gets smaller and smaller. All right, we have some moons here around this gas giant. So let's see what the outer moon of Planet 1 of the Alpha Wolf system has for us. Some pretty ordinary things there. Class 5 tectonics, I think we're going to give that one a hard pass. Let's head towards the other moon and see what it has for us. So I think the turning speed here, as I'm turning while I'm navigating within the solar system, it's doing pretty well. But in hyperspace, it appears to be a lot more sluggish. Ooh, some bright blue things here. No weather, and Class 1 tectonics makes this a worthwhile place to hoover up some more things. So let's get amongst it. Not an awful lot of crew left on the ship when we have a full complement heading down to the surface now. So I'm sure you can imagine that it can eventually get to the point where almost your entire crew is heading down onto the surface, which can make for some scary times if you're desperate for fuel, slowly running lower and lower, and hoping to find some energy readings on the surface of a planet, and then having that as a trade-off against potentially losing all of your crew. Now, that gas giant is we're not going to have anything on it, so I think we might just move on. Go and check a couple of these outer planets. Fortunately, this zoom level is quite swift moving. Okay, we've got 4 moons around that one, and then we've got a smaller planet here. We might go and look at the smaller one first. Planet 2. What have you got in store for us, Planet 2? Something nifty, I hope. Class 6 tectonics. With 1 mineral signature. No energy. No biology. No thank you. What are you, crazy? Well, that was worth the trip, wasn't it, dear viewer? Alright. 4 moons to check out, and then I think the next thing that we're going to do, even though we only have 1 full cargo container, we might head back to Earth, because I think it would be good to get a few more crew on this ship if possible, particularly if we can afford to buy the new crew module to do so. I can't remember what cost it is. All right, we've got some biologicals down here on the surface. Class 4 tectonics. For interest's sake, let's zip on down and have a look at them, just to see what's going on. So they're not really moving at us. I can't remember what happens if they bump into us. Nothing in particular. All right. I don't think we have any armaments on those things at the moment. I don't think we can actually shoot anything. Something vaguely in the back of my brain is telling me that maybe that was a thing you could do. Don't quote me on that. I can't actually remember. But we'll try and just stick to the basics here at the moment of harvesting things. Class 5 tectonics, you're going to need to do better than that to tempt me down onto the surface. It's another pass on that purpley, violet, magenta. I'm not quite sure what colour it is exactly. Planet or planetoid or moon. Again, some pretty ordinary things here. So I guess for the most part, it's not entirely surprising that that there are a number of planets here that are a bit of a dud. The entire galaxy can't be teeming with goodies all over the place. Otherwise, it would eliminate the value of being able to find particularly juicy planets in the first place. So some more biologicals down there on the surface. Quite a few of them, in fact. So 2 of the 4 moons of that planet having life on them. Curious. Going to zoom our way out of the system. We might actually continue our counterclockwise sort of patrol a little ways outwards from the Sol system. Perhaps there's some stuff to the, well, I know it's not actually southwest, but we're going to call it that. We'll just poke our way over in this direction and see if we can see anything. There's a star quite a lot further away. I don't really want to do a lot of further away from Earth travel at this point. There's a ship coming in. There's 2 ships coming in. I don't like the look of that, considering how poorly we're doing. I think they might actually end up catching us. We seem to be gaining a little bit of ground on them, so that's nice. See if we can make it back to here without a problem. Okay, so we did manage to get away. Here we are back in Seoul, fortunately. Running a little low on fuel, so there's a number of different things that we're going to want to stock up on. We have nearly 1 full cargo container, but who knows how we're going to prioritize purchasing. Let's go straight back and see if the Starbase Commander has anything new to say to us. I am at your disposal, Captain Clapton. I think I have some information I think you should hear. We are being bathed in broad beam hyperwave transmission from the direction of the Rigel star system. That's good to know. Due to the broadcast's wide dispersion, we cannot discern its content. Interesting. Okay, so a little bit of seeded information there for us to go and check out Rigel. Not entirely sure where that is, but that's okay. We'll offload the minerals. The Dank's cargo manifest lists that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Nice. So it's given us a little bit. I think we might be able to... I'm assuming the recent bulletins is just going to tell us Rigel again. It is indeed. Good times. That might be enough for us to get ourselves a replacement Earthling cruiser for the one that was destroyed in combat. So, guess we should start by restocking the crew of our flagship. So, we're topping that up. And then I think we can get ourselves another ship. 1100, sure. Let's do that. And that means that we're going to want to top it up with crew as well. All the way up to 18. And that's going to leave us with not an awful lot of resource units. Does that mean that we're going to have enough to be able to get ourselves a module? Probably not, because we're going to need to refuel, aren't we? Right, well, let's stack that all the way back up to 35 again, leaving us with very little in the way of resource units. So let's just save the game. I'm going to go all the way down here. Oops, let's learn to type, Tony. There we go. Gripping. That's gripping YouTube. So clearly, we're going to need to get a lot more resources. We really want to try and hit a profitable planet or a profitable system where we end up with lots of cool stuff that's going to give us some serious cash. But of course, where is that? And what will it contain? Who knows? I guess that's part of the exploration aspect of this video game. So there were 2 ship dots in hyperspace coming in after us. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid them forever. So we may have to, we may just have to wait and see. There's only one of them there on the map at the moment. We'll just head a tad away here. Where did it go? It appears to have vanished. So I don't think our fuel wears down if we just sit here. Doesn't look like it is. It's only through movement. And we did see a new dot out this way. So let's head over there now and see what we find. I don't even know where Rigel is as a star system in the real material universe, but of course with the galaxy being abstracted into this 2D map, I'm not sure that having that real world knowledge would help us anyway. Delta Centauri. I don't think we've been here before, but such is the danger of recording a YouTube episode every few days. It might have just slipped my mind. All right. What do we have here? Planet 6 of Delta Centauri. Well, clearly we haven't been here before. Class 3 tectonics, that's looking quite reasonable. No fuel for us to pick up. But plenty of goodies here. So once again, part of this early game haul, gold, that is hopefully going to be gold and platinum. That should certainly sell for a bit, and will be worth the transfer of fuel, or the fuel cost that we're going to be accruing for the multiple landings that we're going to do with all of these large amounts of material. All right. The oversteering on this, I'm still getting used to. It's especially driving with cursor keys. So holding the up arrow is driving forward here, and then the left and right arrows are actually steering a little bit at a time. Does take some getting used to. Losing 2 crew there. Those brave souls perishing here on planet 6 of Delta Centauri. I'm sure they will not be forgotten. All right, that's a pretty good start to exploring this system. Nearly had the back of the ship mistaken for the front of the ship. That would have been awkward. That's how did I get this captain gig? Who knows? Captain Clapton does make mistakes. Very much fallible individual, but also is willing to own the mistakes. Such as the one way back in the first episode where Captain Clapton forgot to save the game and lost all their progress. What have you got for me, Planet 3? That's a fair peppering of things there. Class 5 tectonics. Ugh. This is part of the gamble. Let's try and sit down in the middle of a fair cluster of things, so maybe we have more chance of actually picking things up. So earthquakes again that we can keep an ear out for. Although those earthquakes do seem to be spawning terribly fast, not having a lot of opportunity for us to do anything about it. All right, and we're full. And we almost lost that ship. We only had 2 people left there. I didn't realise it had gotten quite that drastic. Whoops. Could have been awkward. So a couple more things we can pick up here. So again, in terms of buttons, dear viewer, the enter key is sort of the primary action, or the equivalent of an X. Oh, sorry, a cross rather, or the A button on a 360 controller. All right. Oh, we're really pushing it here. We're down to 30 crew out of 50 now. Well, again, I don't think we're going to be coming back here, so we may as well just get it over with. So yes, the enter key being the confirmation, and the spacebar being the equivalent of a back button. So when I'm zooming down to land here, I'm actually using the enter key, and when I'm taking off, I am using spacebar, thusly. And getting away on that one without losing a single crew member. Good times. So that's Planet 3 done and dusted. We're getting close to having the first of those 3 cargo containers full. So fairly similar in terms of the raw amount of stuff as we were when we returned to Earth last time. And at least some of this stuff that we've got now is things like platinum and gold. So I'm hoping that sells for a pretty penny, and we can convert all of those resource units into more coolness. Class 1 tectonics, please just be overflowing with stuff. Not quite what I had in mind, but should be fairly easy to collect all of these things. Just keeping an eye on our fuel there, of course. We'll be wanting to do a full collection with as few trips as possible. Looks like it's going to be more than one. I can't recall whether increasing the cargo on these landing craft is an option for us. I guess we will find that out as we continue to play. How about that for lining it up? Nicely done, me. All right. So these early stages of the game, as I had said previously, very much focused around maneuvering around hoovering up as many resources as possible. It's also giving us a fairly slow introduction to being able to navigate a little easier, because this flagship is most ungainly here in the early stages without some of the upgrades. What have we got? More red dots, class 3 tectonics. This looks like a reasonable haul. And some biologicals. Hopefully they're not dangerous. Let's find out. We'll try and head down to a section where there are some minerals without a lot of the biologicals. See if the biologicals start moving, and they do, and they're moving fast. Possibly they're things that we need to avoid. Haven't actually seen any of them on the map yet. Oh boy, ow. That hurt. So that swarm of bees doesn't look very friendly, does it? We might just try grabbing another thing. I think that's all. That might be pushing our luck a little bit if we keep doing that. I think we're going to head off. Away from the moon and towards the planet. So yes, these early stages of the game starting to, or at least for me, getting used to the control system and how the ship handles. Assuming that there's little small opportunities to start having encounters with enemy ships. So the machine ship that we met right at the beginning that decided to try and blow us up. Clearly some sort of misunderstanding there in terms of a programmed mission, but also give us an opportunity to have a reasonably low stakes fight between our entire fleet and one vessel. Ow! I'm assuming that we're going to see more of that particular race. Whoops! That is not where I meant to go. Thank you. Seeing more of that particular race and presumably trying to figure out why they are trying to disassemble us into our components. Now, are we going to have enough fuel to get back to Earth? We are spending a fair bit of it here on all of these landings. Starting with 35, we only have 16 left. We are a fair way away and we haven't found any energy on any of these things yet. So we might have to start being a little cautious. Again, there's a nice population of stuff down on there. No biologicals to worry about this time, so hopefully we can get ourselves all of this in one trip. That might be wishful thinking. Let's find out. Yeah, I think it's going to be two. It's definitely going to be 2 trips, but certainly no more than 2. One more perhaps, and that's got us full. So as much as I don't want to waste a ton of fuel, this is the trade-off between leaving things behind and picking them up. All right, here we go. Now, with all of this zooming in and out, I can't actually recall if we visited everywhere. I have a feeling there may be one other planet here that we haven't looked at yet. So we're going to fly our way outwards. Yes, I think that one... Oh, there's 2 of them over here. There's a green and a purple. Possibly a blue as well. Is that a planet or is that a star? It is a planet. Let's go and have a look at it. Show me the scan, show me the scan. Ooh, blue things. I don't even recall what they are, but that's alright. We'll pick them up regardless. Hopefully, argon and xenon. Okay, so some noble gases here by the looks of it, just sitting around. Try picking them up. This is definitely going to be all recoverable in one journey. Just going to do a little bit to alleviate the fuel concerns that I currently have. Done, done, done. Excellent work. Okay, so we still have a couple more planets to investigate here in Delta Centauri, but that is all the time we have for this part of the Let's Play. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel, and please also let a friend know if you think they might enjoy this. And come back again soon for more Star Control 2.